All right. I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Happy Friday to you. Happy Cinco de Mayo. My name is Dustin Offsharik, one of the directors of sales here at Pinnacle Financial Services. I do have you all on mute just so there's no feedback or anything like that, but feel free to ask some questions as they come up. Type them in the box. I will get to them at the end of the webinar, but don't hesitate to ask them in there or type them in there as they come up so you don't forget them. A couple of housekeeping things too. We always like to go over our about information. So if you need to contact any of us on our website, pfsinsurance.com, all of our agents have unlimited access to this. So if you don't know your passwords or you can't get in, feel free to reach out to us. We'll get you in within a day or immediately. We can send you over your login information. But if you ever need to get a hold of us, we have contact our team, sales team. We're not hiding from you. We want to hear from you on a regular basis. So it lists all of our extensions here, our emails, how to get a hold of us through LinkedIn, email us. You can also set up a Calendly event as well too. So if you ever want to schedule some time in the future to meet with any of the directors of sales, you can do so here. So feel free to check that out. That also being said, our excellent support team under About Us, contact our team. I would dare say they are the best in the industry. So if you need help with getting a member ID, ordering supplies, seeing if a application got approved, their card didn't come out, so you can get them a temporary one if they need to use that right away. Any headaches, anything like that, they can help out with it. So here's our health support team here as well. And then over here, our licensing support. So maybe you're having trouble finding a contracting link or don't know where it came from. They are able to help and guide you through that. We have our life and annuities and final expense support team here as well. So we're not hiding from you. We want to hear from you on a regular basis. All of the contacts and informations are right there. So why you want to sell hospital indemnity plans? Obviously, it's a really great product to be able to offer. Cross-selling is the number one way to retain your client and not have them move to another agent. The more products that you're able to offer, the more value that you have, in your client's eyes. The statistics show that, if you have one policy or two policies or three policies, the more that you have with the client, your retention rate is going to be even greater with them. So it's something that you definitely want to be doing if you're selling Medicare Advantage, especially. It's the number one cross-selling product that we see throughout the country for all of our agents. When pairing with Medicare Advantage as a hospital indemnity, the win-win for everybody. So one of the great things about it too is it's year-round selling. There is no, election period for it or anything like that. You can sell it in AEP, OEP, or ROI. We call that rest of the year. In between those election periods, it's a great thing to be able to offer people, especially if they're on a zero premium Medicare Advantage plan. So I just like to update everybody too on our Medicare toolkit. Obviously, we're heading into certification time. The AHIP's going to be coming out soon. All the certifications are going to be coming out. So we'll be updating this AEP toolkit or Medicare toolkit with the information. First look should be coming out as well too. So keep that in mind. As that stuff does come out, it will be updated on here. If you don't have a generic scope of appointment, I know a lot of people do a lot of things digitally now or e-applications, but if you don't have a scope of appointment, feel free to download this one. It's a generic scope of appointment. It's 100% CMS compliant. All the carriers must accept it and will accept it. If there's any updates that are coming for this AEP for the new season with all the new TPMO rules and stuff like that, we will put an updated scope if they need to change that on here. But the reason why we always say use generic is if you use a carrier scope of appointment, maybe they don't have a hospital indemnity product or dental vision hearing, so they might not offer it on the scope. Generic one lists everything that you can talk about in a Medicare Advantage appointment. We always recommend have them check off everything. It may not come up. They may not want to discuss it, but it enables you to do so if it does come up. And a great way to kind of prompt yourself in selling this is, you tell your client, check all these off. We're going to go into all the details of the Medicare Advantage plan. Generally, your biggest costs on a Medicare Advantage plan are going to be your drugs, your prescriptions that you're on, and then your hospital stay, your inpatient hospital stay. So by checking this off, we'll get into that a little bit later on how we have some products that can offer to help with that. So if you need the generic scope of appointment, download it, print it out, save it to your desktop. It's here. If anything needs to be updated for the new AEP season, we will update that as well and host it on there for you. So a lot of people we see uptick, with Hospital Indemnity selling during AEP. It's a really great way to earn extra money during that. We all know, as insurance agents, you're selling through October 15th to December 7th. There's 2.5 months where you're not getting paid on all those 1/1 effective dates till the first or second week of January. This is a great way to earn some money. It pays out weekly. So once it's approved, you generally get paid out in a week. So it's a great way to tack on some extra money during AEP, during the holiday season, especially if you're selling a new to Medicare. You tack on a hospital indemnity plan with an HRA, you're up where kind of near towards $1,000 a sale. So it's really beneficial to you as the agent and the client as well too. So just keep that in mind. Great thing about for the clients as well too, it's a check cut to them, so they can use it for whatever they want. A lot of times you'll see people upsell knowingly and telling the client that as well too, where if your benefit was maybe $300 a day in the hospital, they'll up it to $350. That way the client's making an extra $50 per day they're in there to be able to spend on whatever they need to. So obviously there's parking, your wife wants to stay at a hotel by you, the grandkids come to see you, food, something like that. So you can use it for whatever you want, even if you up the premium and up the stay and exhaust your bills on that. So great opportunities to do that. I'm going to show you a couple ways of how you can quote these things here. So obviously we have our quoting software on pfsinsurance.com. You simply hover over quoting. You go down to Medicare. Click on Medicare, and it's going to bring up some of the CSG quoting tools that we have here. Now, just keep in mind, we do have to download the mobile app as well. So if you have an Android, Apple base, you can download it. You can use CSG on your phone. Maybe you have an opportunity to run some quotes where you don't have Wi-Fi or you don't have your laptop on. So just keep that in mind. It's totally free. Download it. Once you download it and activate it, we'll get notification and we'll check that you're one of our agents and we'll grant you access to it and you'll have unlimited access to it. So click for a Medicare quote, and it's going to bring up some of the Medicare products that we offer. The Medicare Advantage, the supplement, final expense, hospital indemnity, and dental and vision. So if you just want to run a standalone quote on our website, you can simply plug in the zip code. You can change the age, the gender, smoker, non-smokers. Obviously, that's going to affect the monthly premiums a little bit, and hit get quote. And again, you can do this on the mobile app as well too. Totally mobile friendly. It converts to being very visual friendly on there. So there's a ton of different hospital indemnity plans that we have. The top two that we see throughout the country being sold is going to be GTL and Medico. The reason being is their e-applications seem to be the most easiest. They have the most riders and they pay out the fastest as well too. So in my opinion, if you're going to be picking up some hospital indemnity plans, the top-notch ones in the industry are going to be GTL and Medico. So I always like to kind of start with the 10-day plan just to show what some of the information is here. So you have your GTL Advantage Plus Elite 10-day benefit. So you click on it. You can click View Plan Details. This is where you make your adjustments. So obviously you need to know what the plan details of the Medicare Advantage plan that you're on. I can show you how we do that as well too as we go into our online enrollment tool system here, which you'll be able to do hospital indemnity. Well, you can now as well. So you can cross-sell right on Connect for Medicare, which is really great on our connector system. GTL, Medico, Aetna are all on there for hospital indemnity plans. So it makes it really easy to pair it in there with you. I'm just going into this real quick to get a plan in the area so we know how much benefit amount we're going to actually need. I'm doing a zip code in our area here, and we will just pick one of the top plans that come up here. So let's look at Independence Blue Cross Keystone 65 Basic. All the plan details are in here. You know, you can't memorize every single plan, every single detail for every single carrier that you offer. If you can, you should probably be working for NASA. If not, you need to know where to go to find the details. So you simply go into the plan details, and they are here. So you see that the inpatient hospital stay for this plan is going to be $250 a day, days 1 through 7. So if you were to be admitted into the hospital, you would be required to pay that on this Medicare Advantage plan. So you know what that is. And now let's take a look back here, piggyback onto the GTL hospital indemnity plans. Here's where you're going to start making some of your adjustments. So we can see the monthly premium here is $986, but that is because it's for $100 a day. So what we are going to do is adjust this to $250 a day. You can see it bumps up here to $24.65. And that's one of the great ways and easy ways to cross-sell it. When you're going over that scope of appointment, you're having them check off all the products. You say, your two biggest expenses are going to be those two things, your prescription drugs and your inpatient hospital stay. You're already, you have a zero premium plan. You're not paying a monthly premium for, $25, $30, $35, depending upon, the age, stuff like that. You can cover that. So you don't have to worry about a big bill if you go into the hospital. So you simply need to adjust accordingly for it. And now, like I said, you'll see some agents upsell it and go over the reason why they would do that with the client. So we know it's $250 a day. You'll see people up it to $300. And what that will do, it bumps the premium up a little bit. So for an extra $50 a day, it went up $4 in a monthly premium. Like I said, you're in the hospital, bills keep coming in. Maybe you need to pay your cell phone bill, or, like I said, the hotel room, your wife wants to come stay in a hotel room, food, anything like that. So this is a check cut to the client. Obviously, they're going to want to use that check to pay for their hospital bill. But if you up the benefit amount, you earn some money on it as well, too. So you can use it for whatever you want to. As we scroll down, there's a ton of different riders on here. So there's a lump sum cancer. You can go up to $20,000. Ambulance benefit. This is the number one rider that we see. So obviously, you'll go into your plan details, see what the ambulance service is going to be. So it's $240. We'll juggle back here to the ambulance benefit. So let's put it at $250. It adds $1.79. So instead of having to pay $240 if you go to the hospital in the ambulance, it covers it for an extra $1.79. So we've upped the benefit amount by $50 so they can make some money if they're in there to use for whatever they need. Their hospital stay is going to be totally covered, and their ambulance trip is going to be covered for $31.37 on a $0 premium Medicare Advantage plan. So win-win for everybody. On these quotes too, you can download them in a PDF, so you can print them out. So if you need to send them to your clients if they want to review it. But the number one rider we really do see is going to be the ambulance benefit, because generally it's a couple $100 bill if you do have to use that, and generally it's like a few dollars to add for that rider. So it's great. Now you will want to note that depending upon the state that you are in, certain riders are approved or not approved. So as you're scrolling down here and we're looking at the different riders here, critical accident, outpatient therapy, skilled nursing benefit, like you said, lump sum cancer, short stay, mental health, emergency room. In some states, you'll see accidental dismemberment and stuff like that. So there are different riders for the different states. So be aware of that. If you are running a quote in a non-res state, or you're running it in your state and you say, hey, I don't see that, chances are it just might not be approved. So be aware of that. Not every rider is standard across the country. It is going to be state specific. So just keep that in mind. So as we scroll up, again, 3137 for a $300 a day stay, days 1 through 10. We added in an ambulance benefit of $250 to cover that $240 and up to $1.79, and everything is listed here. So that's how you can kind of run some quotes if you want to just do it on our regular website, pfsinsurance.com, and print out some PDFs, email it over to people. If you're going to be doing it on our Connect for Medicare system, I'll go back to the dashboard here so you can see the process with it. If you have your profiles done, we're not going to do a full walkthrough of the Connecture system because we have a ton of webinars on that that are recorded. I'll show how to get to them on our website a little bit later. But you can simply, if you just want to run some quotes, do some homework before you meet with a client. You hit plans, plug in your zip code, pick your county. It's not going to be as imperative for a hospital indemnity plan, but if you're pairing it with a Medicare Advantage plan, you always want to remember you run some zip codes. It could fall within several different counties. Those counties could have the same plan, but the benefits could be a little bit different. So you want to make sure that you pick the appropriate plan for the county that your client is actually in, because it does matter. So you can do a standalone hospital indemnity quote on here as well, but I really like going into the plan details. This is how you really can sell it to your client, like we were talking about. You're going to be going through these details with your client anyway to review them, what the max out of pocket is going to be, what your doctor's office visits are going to be, what it's going to cost you if you go to a specialist, and then you're going to be reviewing, all right, if you go into the hospital, this is what it's going to cost you. Now, what they did is they put a nice little tab on here where you can add more coverage, so it's really easy to sell it. So as you're going through this, explaining to them, if you get admitted to the hospital, you have to take that ambulance ride there. It's going to cost you $250 a day, days 1 through 7. Is that something that you want to go over with the hospital indemnity? You checked it off on the scope of appointment. Let's just review it. So you put in their date of birth, effective date, pick the gender, and the number of days benefit that you need, run the quote, and it pairs it right in here for you. So it's really nice system here. I really like the Connecture platform for that reason, that you can cross-sell hospital indemnity. We're seeing a ton of people sell it. It's really nice to be able to go back and review it too with your clients. Remember, they sign that scope of appointment. It's good for 90 days. So you write somebody in AEP, all the hustle and bustle of that's done. As a good agent, you are going to want to be checking in with your clients, in January. Did you receive your card? Do you have any questions with your plans? Just going that extra step will really help retain your clients. You don't want to sign them up and never talk to them again until next AEP, because I guarantee there's going to be another agent that is talking to them. So you want to review that with them. It's a really good opportunity then too, if they didn't want to discuss the hospital indemnity plans, to bring up, hey, remember we signed the scope of appointment. We have you on this plan. Is there anything else that you want to review? Did you want to maybe go over the hospital indemnity plans again, see what's available to be offered? Great thing too, when you add it to the cart, let's say we were going to enroll this client on the IBC plan. You hit add to cart. It will pop up here as well too, unless you forgot to go over it. That would you like to shop hospital indemnity plan? So it reminds you of it. It's a really nice feature. I think it's really visually friendly how they do it. It's something that you need to be selling. If you're selling Medicare Advantage, you need to be selling hospital indemnity. Think of it as if you're selling Medicare supplements, you got to pair it with a PDP and possibly a dental vision hearing plan. If you go in the mindset that, I'm selling a Medicare Advantage plan, I pair them with hospital indemnity plans. Bring it up. Might not be for every one of your clients, but they're not going to know about it unless you talk to them about it. People like to be sold on stuff and stuff that's going to help them out, especially when you're going over the plans and you realize, it could cost me $1,500 if I'm in the hospital for a certain amount of time. I can afford $24 a month, to be able to cover that and have some peace of mind. So really great opportunity to do so. I was telling you how We do have a bunch of different webinars on our website that you can check out. If you missed a webinar, if you want to review and kind of go back and review some of the products we do, under our service tabs here, you're going to see that there is the webinar tabs here. So anyone that we do, we record it, we post it on here. We usually have them on our YouTube channel as well too, and sometimes on the Facebooks. But webinar recordings, click webinar recordings, it brings it up. You can search through all the ones that we've done. Pretty much any products that we go over, any new carriers, anything like that. One of the nice things too is generally heading into AEP, there's different bonuses as well too. So on our website, if there's any incentives that is going on, obviously you're entitled to them. You get paid directly through the carrier. So you always want to kind of check in on this. I always say, like, once a month or once a quarter, check in to say, hey, I could be close to something. You don't know. A lot of times, if you don't know where the finish line is, it can be harder to reach. You might be 1 or 2 away from getting a bonus, an extra $50 an app or something like that. A lot of times, GTL will have a bonus in the fourth quarter for hospital indemnity sales. So just check in here. They're always changing. If we're made aware of them, they send this information. We post it on here. If you're selling the product anyway, you might as well be able to get the bonus for it. So I'm going to open it up to now some questions. It's not too difficult of a product to be able to sell. There's not any certifications for it. There's no election period. You simply need to know the plan details of the Medicare Advantage plan that your client's on or that somebody's on. Maybe, you reach out and you don't have that client for Medicare Advantage. It's the middle of July. There's no election period for the change. But, they can show you their card, or you can go over the plan that they have. You sell them a hospital indemnity plan. Might be a great opportunity to change them in AEP to be your client for Medicare Advantage as well too. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. So I'm going to open it up to some questions here now. Okay, so this is a great question. Does GTL pay the hospital or surgery center directly? No, they pay the client. That's what the great thing is about it. That's why you see some people, add an extra $50 on that. So the client will get the check, they cash it, deposit it. Then when the hospital bill comes in, they can pay it with it. So that's a great question there. Another question on there, how much do you generally get? Obviously, it's a percentage. It's different in different states, but generally you're making between $200 and $300. Obviously, if the premium's a lot higher, you'll make more, but on average between $200 and $300. So again, you're paying a turning 65 Medicare Advantage client with a hospital indemnity, and you do an HRA on them, you may be looking at $1,000 income per one sale. So it's great. Another great question. Yes, can under 65 customers do it? Yes, you can. You don't have to be 65. I believe they go down to 40. It depends on different states. But if you run the quotes on pfsinsurance.com, basically on our quoting on the CSG, it'll show you like the limits on there. So yes, it's a product that you can sell people. It's not just for people 65 and older. You can sell under 65. So tons of great questions on here. Different states have like the different riders. If you want, you can plug in. Bill, I see you want to see if it's available in New York. Go ahead and give me a zip code. If you want to type that in, I'll run a quote for you on here while I have you guys on here. Okay. Great. So I'm just going to close out the questions right now. We'll run another quick zip here. And like I said, check it out. Like, if you're an agent with us, you have unlimited access to pfsinsurance.com. If you don't know how to get in there, give us a call. Give our excellent support team a call. They can reset your password. They can let you know what the credentials are to get in there. And I always like to review. One thing I like to tell people as well, too, just a little tip when you're on the website. this website updates every day. So if there's rate changes or something like that. So if you're logged into PFS Insurance site for over a day, you're going to want to log in and log back out or refresh it. We've seen it where a rate change just came out the day before. Somebody was logged in the website for like a week or so, and it didn't update accordingly. So just a little, tidbit that might help you out. Always, you want to log in and log back out or refresh, the site if you are on it on numerous days and logged into it. So New York is not a state that I traditionally cover. I know they do have a little bit more funky rules with some of their products. So no, it looks like it is not going to be available, at least for the ones that we have. So it's not going to be available for New York, but I believe it is available in New Jersey and some of the surrounding ones as well too. So, if you're expanding your portfolio or, you have non-resident states, to be able to add it, by all means go and do so. There are some states that don't allow that, but generally most of the states throughout the country allow the hospital indemnity plans. Again, the riders may vary as well though too, depending upon which ones are approved for those states. No problem at all. So your experience, can these indemnity plans help the average person with employer coverage? My answer to that would be yes, depending upon the plan. I don't really deal in a lot of group plans and employer coverage. You would probably want to get the outline of coverage from them because I'm sure they're all different. Some employer coverage might cover hospital stay totally, or it might be really cheap. I just don't know. So what you would kind of want to do is like we mimicked with the Medicare Advantage plans for 65 years and older. If you can get the plan details of the employer coverage and see what they are responsible for, if they go into the hospital or ambulance rides and stuff like that, it might make sense to sell that. So that's a very good question. You would need to get the details because every employer plan is going to be a little bit different depending upon the carrier, the state, everything like that. But if you can get that client to reach out to their insurance or employer coverage, get the plan details of it, you by sure can mimic what we just did with a Medicare Advantage plan and pair up the plan details with a hospital indemnity plan. Great. Well, listen, I really appreciate you all joining us here today. If you have any further questions, like I said, please reach out to me. I'll put my information up here. You can shoot me an email if you want to, add the hospital indemnity plans. I saw a lot of familiar faces on here. We really appreciate you being on here. Saw a ton of new faces as well too. If you're not working with us, why aren't you? We've got a ton of great products, ton of great carriers. I guarantee will earn the rest of your business. We also have a great thing coming that's going to be out for AEP or before AEP, a proprietary CRM system. So it's only going to be available to Pinnacle Financial agents. It's going to kind of change the industry. So it's going to take everything that you need as an agent. It's going to pair with Connect for Medicare and Sunfire, automatically upload your clients in there with applications. You're going to have E&O license expire notifications, real-time commissions. If a client drops off, you'll be notified. How many of you are sick and tired of finding contracting links going to your spam? You don't know where they're coming from. That will all go away. You'll have a hub basically like this that you log into. If you ask to add United Healthcare or Aetna or Cigna or a GTL hospital indemnity plan, the link will go right into your hub. You'll get a notification. Here's your contracting link. You'll be able to fill that out. So it's going to be really beneficial to agents, for recruiting downline agents, for you guys, and for us. It's going to make everybody more efficient, more organized. So stay tuned for that. We will have some more information on that shortly as it launched. But feel free to give me a call. If I don't pick up, I'm probably getting a ton of phone calls right now, and I've been in here for about a half an hour, so I'm sure there's people I have to call back. But please leave me a message. Email me. We'd love to get you set up with any of the indemnity products. We can go over them specifically for your states. I hope you have a lovely weekend, a great Friday, and happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.